Today we're talking about the Lean Coffee format. It's the most important format in my toolbox because it allows me to run a meeting where I get some interesting people together. We know what we want to talk about, but we don't know what exactly will be said. It moves the responsibility for an interesting meeting from a smart person to a peer group to make it awesome. This is Minimum Viable Agile. Today we're talking about the Lean Coffee meeting format. There are three big chapters in the format. First, you start off with topic generation, then you have a voting, and ultimately you go into the most popular topics. Timekeeping is important. If you do this in a 1 hour meeting, try to have about 10 minutes for the preparation, topic generation and the voting, about 45 minutes for the actual talking, the meat of the meeting, and try to have the last 5 minutes for closing down to find out if people actually liked it. The first part of your Lean Coffee meeting is to generate the topics. You already have everybody around the table to talk about a certain theme. Now you want to find out exactly what everybody wants to discuss. To do that, you hand out sticky notes to everybody around the table and fat markers, the big ones. You ask everybody to write down their topic on the sticky note and ask everybody to generate 2 or 3 of them to make sure that you have enough topics. When you're generating the topics, you need to keep it snappy. People will not always come fully prepared and know what they want to talk about. All the more reason to keep the tempo up and to keep it going. Try to do this part in 6 minutes. The next part of the meeting is voting. At this point you already have a handful of post-it notes up on a wall somewhere, and you know that these are things that the people want to talk about. To do that, you ask everybody to get up, go to the board, give everybody 3 votes. You tell them to write a little dot on each of the things they want to vote on. Voting is essential. Keep it under 2 minutes. Try to avoid people getting into what they wrote on the post-it and sidestep FOMO by just making it short. The final part of voting is simply tallying the votes. Put the ones with the most votes on top, make a vertical list, the ones without any votes at the bottom. They have the same amount of votes, put them on the same horizontal line. The top ones will do first, the bottom ones will probably not get talked about. I like these. We get to the point where we talk about the topics. This is the meat of the meeting. Start with the topic with the most votes. If there's an ex aequo, just pick one. Put it in a Kanban fashion, where you have the things you want to talk about, the things you're talking about, and the things you already did. Take it into the column of we're talking about it. Ask the person who wrote the note to do a 1 sentence or 1 minute introduction to the topic, and then open the floor to have the conversation. Once you hit the time limit, you put the topic into the done column and you take the next one. You start that discussion. To make sure you can talk about an optimal amount of topics, timekeeping is important. You need to make sure that you get all of the conversation in the beginning and that it doesn't drag on. To do that, my favorite methodology is a Fibonacci style countdown, where you start with giving everybody 7 minutes to talk about the topic. At the end of those 7 minutes, you make a lot of noise, you know, and you get a vote. You tell everybody, would you like to continue? Yes or no? If they say yes, you continue for another 5 minutes. If they say yes again, you can continue for another 2 minutes. If they say yes, ultimately you give them 1 more minute, and then you close the topic and you tell everybody, if this is really something that we need to discuss further, we can do so in the next meeting to make sure it happens. If you see that the people are not talking about it, if you see that everybody is falling asleep, if you feel like their silence is coming, it's the moment to move on to the next topic. Another beautiful tip here is, when it comes to voting, point out the broader landscape of your meeting. How much time do we have left? How much topics do we have left? What is the next topic? And you can already make a slight guess where you say, at this pace, I can see that we're talking about that. We've been spending on average this much time per topic, which means that if we continue like this, we will probably be able to do this post-it as the last topic, and we will not be able to do the next one. But if we speed up, we might actually also be able to do that one. In your last 5 minutes, try to do a little closing, try to find out what they liked about it, what they didn't like about it. If it's a meeting that's going to be important in the long run, definitely don't hesitate to prime the answers by giving your own answer first. It was good, I like these things about it, and I would like to do it again, so that you can build on that to have a further meeting. The Lean Coffee format is my biggest go-to for a lot of the meetings, simply because it offers a stage to the audience and it makes sure that we get the most important topics talked about, find out if it works and discover the benefits for yourself. This was a physical version. You can equally do it online. There is no downside to it as long as you keep some simple tips in mind. Check the description for more information about what we talked about and some links. Check out the other videos if you want to dig deeper in how to do some of the things that we discussed here in basic. Did I ask you to comment? I didn't ask you to comment. Commenting would be nice. If you have any questions, remarks, or beautiful stories that you want to share, put them in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.